and his name is William Harvey Carney, which I know some of you. He's an African American who enlisted in the 54th Massachusetts, and took part in the charge of the Fort Wagner in South Carolina.
Where was the program? Where was the program? Where did you go to the program?
No, he's giving one.
No, I'm doing the program.
For the month. Yep.
Yes, and I will just at this time want to do a presentation of William Harvey Carney. I'm just wondering if this is on. Okay. Well, I'm going to just make this quick. Right. All right. Yeah. Anyway, William Harvey Carney was born as a slave in Norfolk, Virginia on February 29th, 1840. How he made his way to freedom is not certain. According to most accounts, he escaped through the Underground Railroad and joined his father in Massachusetts. Other members of their family were freed by purchase or by the death of their masters. During the Civil War, Carney joined the 54th Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry in March of 1863 and was later promoted to sergeant due to his heroism and actions during the Battle of Fort Wagner. He took part in the July 18th, 1863 assault on Fort Wagner in Charleston, South Carolina. His actions there ultimately earned him the Medal of Honor. When the color guard was killed, Carney retrieved the U.S. flag and marched forward with it, despite serious wounds. When the Union troops were forced to retreat under fire, he struggled back across the battlefield. He was shot in both of his right arm and leg, as well as his chest, with his last shot fired, barely hitting his head, and eventually returning to his own lines and turning over the colors to another survivor of the 54th, saying, "Boys, I only did my duty. The old flag never touched the ground." He received an honorable discharge due to his disability from his wounds in June of 1864. After his discharge, Carney returned to New Bedford, Massachusetts, and took a job maintaining the city's streetlights. He then delivered mail for 32 years. He was a founding vice president of the New Bedford branch, 18 of the National Association of Letter Carriers in 1890. He married Susanna Williams, and they had a daughter, Clara Hawaii. He spent a few years in California, then returned again in 1869. Carney received the Medal of Honor on May 23, 1900, nearly 37 years after the events at Fort Wagner. More than a half of such awards from the Civil War were presented to 20 or more years after the fact. 20 African Americans men received the Medal of Honor before him, but because his battle actions happened earlier than the others, some have incorrectly cited him as the first to receive the medal. His citations reads, "When the color sergeant was shot down, this soldier grasped the flag, led the way to the parapet, and planted the colors thereon. When the troops fell back, he brought off the flag, under the fierce fire in which he was twice severely wounded. In 1901, shortly after his medal was awarded, a song was published about his daring exploits. Boys, the old flag never touched the ground. Captain Louis F. Emilio, the most junior captain of the 54th, who had been left in charge during the attack on Battery Wagner, by the deaths or wounding of all of his superiors. In his 1891 book, A Brave Black Regiment, wrote, "It is due, however, to the following named enlisted men that they be recorded above their fellows for special merit. First Sergeant Robert J. Simmons, Color Guard Sergeant William H. Carney. Carney died at the Boston City Hospital on December 9th, 1908, and of complications from an elevator incident at the Massachusetts State House, where he worked for the Department of State. His body lay in repose for one day at the undertaking rooms of Walden Banks, 142 Lexington Street, at the wish of his wife and daughter. He was buried in the family plot at Oak Grove Cemetery in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Engraved on his tombstone is the image of the Medal of Honor. And that's my report.
I'm the camp commander of the Lieutenant Ezra Griffin, County Number 8, Sons of Union Veterans. Today we're here at the GAR Memorial Association Museum here in Scranton. We'd like to invite you to come out to the museum. The museum is open Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, noon to 4. Also on April 12th, around 11:30, we'll be conducting a ceremony at the Lincoln Monument at Nayoth Park. It'll be a quick 15-30 minute ceremony, and then our next big thing will be Memorial Day on May 26th at 10:30 at Dunmore Cemetery. Hope to see you there.